Yeah, that's a good reason to have to be. Well, hello, hello, everybody. Welcome to. Oh, it's already bad. Welcome to Seeing the Soil podcast. I got the boys with me here today. A little different setup. We're excited. We'll go around the room and share our name and social security number, and we'll get rolling. Yeah. Hey, if you're watching, can you drop a comment for me to make sure that you can hear us? Oh, I'm playing it from. Oh wait, I guess I could just do that.
Man, you
It works. I don't need y'all's comments. I don't want it. I don't need it. I do want to know who's watching though. So if you are here, tell us where you're watching from. Maybe you're at work, taking a break. I don't know. Anyways, y'all know me, and y'all have met this guy before. But go ahead, introduce yourself.
I'm Austin, hooping gardener.
Why are you looking at the microphone? That's
I definitely did.
Hey everybody,
I definitely looked
my
at
name's
the
Austin.
mic. I'm used to the camera being closer. I want to hear.
Wait. Say your last name one more time.
Hooping gardener.
You didn't know that?
No. Just like he did know my last name.
I didn't. I had
What's
to.
Mackenzie called? Pooping garden?
Pooping
Wow.
garden.
Pooping garden.
I'm pooping gardener to that child.
Yeah, I do want, and I also want
AKA
to warn
Derek's child.
anybody that comes in here, or if anybody's watching, that at any point my 4-year-old could run in here and be on camera, and that's just. Also, your wife could go into labor. Sorry, go ahead.
If it happens, yeah.
Then you're
I'm
out.
Kerv, Augustine. I'm the sports director at the Y. I'm also looking at the kid.
That's the mic.
You got
Yeah,
it's kind
good
of
to
the
be
mic.
here today with the boys.
The boys.
The boys. My turn?
Yeah.
I'm gonna look at the camera. I'm gonna be that guy.
But can you?
Sprout? I'm the media intern.
Yeah.
And I'm the dummy who set all this up.
You know, it's crazy. This is the first time Luke's been in front of the camera.
Yeah.
Normally he's
I don't
behind
like
the
it,
camera.
and I don't like
And
it.
I
don't
talked
like
to
being
him.
behind. I don't like being behind.
You look good in front though.
He does.
Yeah,
He does.
I
Y'all
appreciate it, man.
Y'all do. Y'all look good over there on the couch, man.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you're watching, drop a comment below. Love that you're here. I see there's some folks here, but yeah. So really, the whole thing today is we just want to, I guess, two things: put a spotlight on the YMCA and what God's doing there, and we love the Y and are so thankful. I've told you this a bunch, and you can back me up. I'm not just saying it for the camera. Like what you brought to this community through what God has done through you at the Y. It's probably, you may not even know the effect that you've had because you haven't been here long enough to know what it was like, I guess, but just the impact that you made, not to be cliche, but has been huge. So we'll kind of go through your story. I want to hear how you got to Hartwell. Like Miss Lee says, hey Miss Lee. I don't know if you probably don't know how people's gonna be watching Kerv, but that's why we're doing this, so they can meet you and know you. So we'll catch up to where you are now, what you're doing now, and all the babies that you got, the babies you're about to have that could literally happen today. So you kind of moved around, right?
A little bit.
You didn't grow up.
No, I didn't grow up here. So my dad's from Haiti.
Okay.
My mom's from Martinique, and so they met. And they had me.
Yeah.
My dad served in the military.
Don't go into detail about that. We don't need to know.
Yeah, we don't know. We're not talking that. Today's not that episode.
Not that episode. Yeah.
Next week.
Maybe next week. Tune in next week. No, I'm just kidding. My parents served in the military for a short term. So with that, I had the privilege or the opportunity to just live where they served. So
Okay.
bounced around a few times around Germany, Frankfurt. Qatar for a
That's crazy.
short time.
That's wild.
And had opportunities to just do things myself and just go places, mission trips, to Colombia, Mexico.
Okay.
Lived in Portugal for a short term. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Privileged. Definitely a God thing.
Yeah.
It made me who I am. So it's
Yeah.
alright.
That's cool.
And I'm in Hartwell.
That's what I'm saying, man. Like, he's talking about Germany and Portugal, and I'm over here like, yeah, I lived in Bowman, and then I moved to Dewey Rose, and then I moved to Elton County, and now I'm in Harwell. Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's definitely a privilege, man. It's a good thing.
That's dope, man.
I'm grateful for it. So. Yeah.
When did you meet the Lord? I don't think I've ever asked you that. Sorry, I didn't even warn you.
Man, no, it's all good. It's all good. I'm an open book. I remember like growing up. I grew up in a Christian household.
Okay.
Both of my parents lived in Christ before I came to life, and my mom. I could remember my parents dragging me to church every Sundays, twice a day on Sundays, whenever there was a women's meeting.
Yeah. And that's wherever y'all were at.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah. So I literally was. I think they call it a drug baby, not drug, but
like
you know,
to church.
I got to every services that every meeting or whatever. Partly because my mom didn't have much help, so she had to take me and my sister places. So and that was cool. I didn't initially make that decision to be a Christian because I didn't get in trouble and I didn't get into anything where I just thought I was a good kid.
Yeah.
But then I guess for a while until middle school age, I just thought I carried my parents' faith as my own.
Right.
So I never really made that decision because I never really got in trouble. Like, to be frank, I only got a spanking one time my whole life. I wish I had gotten a little bit more.
Yeah.
The other one, if we all believe in spanking, man.
Right.
But my parents, it wasn't. They just had their way to shape me. So and it worked, and I think I turned out to be decent.
Pretty good guy.
Solid. My back a little bit.
Got to.
No, so my parents, I grew up just playing soccer and really didn't do anything else. I remember one summer I had gotten in some trouble, and my parents were like, "You're not doing soccer this summer. You're gonna go to church camp." And I was like, "Man, I go to church all the time."
Right.
But then partly I decided. I didn't decide. My parents decided that I was going to church camp, and so I did. And partly I wanted to go, partly because a good bit of my friends from church were going to church camp. It's not something that I really woke up and like, yeah, I'm going to church camp. Then I just remember, I don't remember the sermon. I don't remember all about it, but I remember on that Wednesday, I don't necessarily remember if the Lord was tugging at my heart. I just ended up at the altar and accepted Christ as my Savior. And I want to say that was like maybe my sophomore year in high school. Yeah.
Okay.
And and I tried to live it out, learn a little bit more, about what that means to be a believer. It was tough after graduating, or my senior year after graduating high school. Sorry, I gotta check. Okay.
Hey man, you check it anytime you get a little notification or buzz.
Yeah. No, I think she'll be all right. She might be watching. You can just let me know. Comment.
Comment below if you're birthing a baby.
I remember just being in high school. I was pretty decent at soccer, and some schools I wanted to go to. There are schools that I didn't want to go to. I was big-headed, very prideful, and the schools that I really wanted to go to play for, they didn't really, they didn't bat an eye at, giving me an opportunity. So I was like, I'll just go to the best school in the world, University of Florida. Go Gators.
Oh wow, we just our viewers just went down.
Sorry.
I mean, it dropped.
Yeah. Y'all just started winning. Yeah, it's over. Anyways, moving on.
Wow. That's crazy. Yeah, let's just keep on rolling. Let's keep it going here.
Crazy. So yeah, I spent my first year there, and it was pretty decent.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Okay.
It, but being there, it has no knock on the best school in the world. You're the Georgia man here, so that's why I'm staring. Um, it didn't help me cultivate my Christian,
Sure.
you know,
Yeah.
walk, and so there was a school that showed interest. Lipscomb University is a small Christian school, Church of Christ school in Nashville. Um, and I reached out and got to go there and ball for a few seasons. It was cool. Then that's where really that school has helped me. I did a lot of dumb stuff, like you're supposed to, I guess.
Yeah.
Oh, sure.
And that school and the people there shaped me. There was a lot of tough love, but I didn't take it as tough love then because I was still pretty much immature.
Yeah.
But there are a lot of people that just cared for me and cared for my heart and my faith.
Yeah.
That got me straight. Then from there on, I mean, it just started really taking it as my own to follow Christ and be that man,
Cool.
that He calls me to be. And after school, had a short stint to play semi-pro. That was fun. That was definitely an experience.
Yeah, that's why I know that. That's why I'm learning, man.
Yeah.
I knew you were nice, but I ain't know you were.
I'm all right.
That nice.
Yeah,
I'm all right.
yeah, that's crazy.
But you're pretty nice at basketball, so
I'm not semi-pro though. That's crazy. That's different. I'm not even like
it's a short
men's
short
league.
thing. Okay, it was like semi-pro B team.
Nah,
So it
listen.
was like
Hey, still, you can say
junior
you played.
varsity of the varsity.
Listen, I am flexing that on everybody.
Oh,
for
sure.
That's gonna be in my Instagram bio,
For
Facebook
sure.
bio.
Retired semi-pro soccer player.
I'm in my grave, I tell you.
Yeah, so that was that, and then after school, my parents moved to Georgia, and then came back home and met this girl.
In Gainesville?
Yeah.
That's
So
how you ended up in Gainesville.
I guess Gainesville and Flowery Branch, they're just connected. They're just like
Yeah.
on top of each other.
It's the same thing.
Yeah.
We call that Buford here.
Sure.
It's all the same.
Yeah, sure.
And some people call it Atlanta.
Oh,
I mean,
Buford.
it depends on who you at. Yeah, it's just all Atlanta.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, started going to church back with my parents in Gainesville. Super awesome church. Met some great people. Then met my wife, Rachel. Not at my church. She grew up at a church down the street from my church, and my church. Some of the younger people, the college age people, we would have a frisbee. I think it was like every Monday. It could have been every day. I want to say every Monday to be safe. And she showed up and me, crazy Kerv, very obnoxious, and I approached her and it was very loud and was like, I thought I scared her, but apparently she fell in love. Her story might be different, but
Yeah, we'll have to get her in.
Oh, you'll have to get her
I'll get her
side.
up in here to hear the real
So
story.
yeah, and from there on, man, it's just been my life has just changed. She's
So-
helped shape me.
When did y'all get married?
We got married not this past.
This
Oh my goodness.
months
Hold
ago.
on, hold on.
Oh, you better remember this.
May 19th, 2018.
Put you on the spot.
Yeah. So we're not seasoned vet. So
So this will be y'all are about to
this
have your
will be our
5 year.
fifth. Yeah. Fifth year. And
Oh,
we're about to
y'all
have
pumping babies out, and so you're
We
about to
both
have.
love soccer, so we're planning
that's
on
cool.
making our team.
Yeah, you got okay. So
You
you
know.
need
A
how
whole
many?
team of your kids.
How many
Yeah.
kids do you need? How many players do you have to
You
have?
need
need,
11.
11 on the
Oh, so
field,
y'all about to have-
Nine.
but we would like subs,
Yikes.
right, babe?
So y'all got like 15 kids. You gotta have the manager, assistant.
No.
whatever.
I love the Y. They love me at the Y. They don't pay me enough to have all these kids, so
How much-
so we'll probably.
So you're about to have your. You just had
Fourth.
twins. You're about to
Yeah.
have your fourth, right? Okay.
Yeah, Rachel and I are about to have a fourth. Super excited, man. It's a learning experience. With our first, she was a great kid. We waited a while to try, and out of nowhere we had twins, and twins do not run in our family. Near part of
So
maybe
that was
like
just random?
long way,
Distant.
cause distant, family members, but nothing immediate. And
That's crazy.
yeah, and it's definitely a God thing. But truly, if we didn't have those twins, life wouldn't make sense.
Yeah.
Without, like, if we only had one, we'd be like, something's wrong. So
Right.
it makes sense that we have twins.
Yeah.
So yeah, and well, yeah, that's me in a nutshell, really.
That's
For the
cool,
most
man.
part,
It's always cool to know, like, especially like because it's such a small town, how people end up here. You
Yeah.
know what
Oh
I mean?
man.
Like the things that had to happen, the people that you had to have conversations with, the jobs you had to take, the way the Lord had to move, the steps that, and obviously you're a young man, still God, still doing things in your life, but not done with you yet. But like just that led up to this moment, like to sit here with us, like it's just crazy to think, like because I always think like if I wouldn't have talked to him, then I wouldn't have talked to so and so. If I wouldn't have talked to so and so, we never would have this. Like I think about those.
I think
those
we're both
puzzle
social
pieces.
butterflies, though, so we eventually would have
Probably.
crossed
Probably,
over.
yeah. Probably because the crazy thing is that he, you know a lot of people that. Some people.
Yeah.
That
I know when we added each other on Facebook, I don't know, maybe I did, trying to figure out who you are.
Yeah.
We had like a good bit of friends in common, a good bit of them from my church and people that mutual friends. So it's cool.
Yeah.
Eventually, this had to happen.
Right.
So,
Yep.
yeah.
For sure. Well,
so,
we just wanted to. I think for me, it's like your personality is. I get encouraged as I'm around you, but so it's like I wanted our church and other people watch this other than just our church, but I wanted people to meet you because I just think you're somebody in this community people need to know because you care so much about the community. You know what I mean? You care so much about the kids in this area. And you haven't even moved here yet. Like you live, like it's like an hour drive for you to get
hour
home.
and a
Right?
half.
Yeah, that's
every day.
and like what people don't know is that like the things you've set up, and we'll talk about this, but like things you've had set up, like the men's league and the high school basketball and all these other things you're doing, like I mean, like you don't get home till. I mean that it's not just a sacrifice you make. I think you posted about this on Facebook, but like that your wife allows you to do this, like and is supportive of you in this role, but like. Of how much time you put into it. Because a lot of people, if they had made that drive, it'd be easy for them to be like. But if it's a calling, then
definitely,
you know what I mean.
It definitely it's definitely a God thing that I'm up here. I remember before, finding this job, I was working at the Boys and Girls Club through the Atlanta Falcons, and so my job was to make fun games. At one point, Hall County had the highest rate of obesity in the state of Georgia. And so the Atlanta Falcons gave the Boys and Girls Club this grant to, help fix that. And so my job was to make fun games through the school system, Gainesville City school systems, and then some schools in Hall County to just, implement more moving games for PE and recess. So, but once we found out we were having twins, that it was a good job. It was a fun job. I've always had fun jobs. Never had all the responsibilities that you guys have. But it was a good job, but it wasn't enough to feed these mouths that are coming to our
all these baby girls.
So we started searching, and then I didn't even know how far Hartwell was. It was like, I like this opportunity. And so I reached out to Mandy, best boss ever.
Yeah.
Like anyone would want to work for that lady. She's awesome. I want to say the first time I called or put in my resume and she called me, the minute I heard her voice, I was like, I want this lady to be my boss.
Yeah. And
I'm pretty sure, I don't know, but I'm pretty sure she probably was like, I want this guy to work for me.
Yeah.
But no, it was once we met, it was just like we on the way up for our interview, we drove up here and was like, man, how long is it gonna take?
That's crazy to do
get
that.
Up
You still
here,
decided to do it.
Yeah. And when we came, we had a few days. Job was offered. We had a few days, and it was like we could make it. And our parents, my parents and my wife's parents are very supportive because we were going to have twins. So it was like, well, who's going to be at home with you and our 3-year-old at the time, and then twins, but we knew we needed to make that sacrifice. So my parents, and a lot of her parents, just stepped up to the plate and was like, "You go to work. We got her. She's our daughter, anyways. Just with a few kids, but they every single day was still to this day are always present and helping. So they've allowed me to. So I wouldn't say it's so much of a sacrifice, really. I love coming here. The drive can be lengthy, especially on the way home. Coming here is fine, but the late nights driving home, that's when it's like, but it's okay because I know I'm coming back here tomorrow. And then the fact that I have help at home, and the boss that I work, and it's not necessarily working for her, is the opportunities that we get to work together.
Yeah.
She's very lenient in allowing me. She believes in me a lot, and so she allows me to, hey, if you need to come in late, tomorrow.
Right.
She's just like literally the best. You know her.
Yeah.
She's great, and
Well,
people watching may know her. Mandy Floyd. She's amazing.
The cool thing is when God calls you to something, it doesn't mean it's easy, because I know your job's not easy and the drives aren't easy. But he'll it's almost like God will do things like in your life that make sense.
Yeah, sure.
Like they give you that support. Like I'm just thinking like when we started foster care, it was like, I mean, obviously it was super difficult, but the people that were in place to help us, it was like everybody, God set us up with everything we needed to do it.
Yeah.
It was just a matter of like, are we going to be okay being, it's probably more, sacrifice might be the word, inconvenience might be the right word, but inconvenience shouldn't hold us back from what God's called us to do.
Yeah, exactly. And to align with what you said, like God, it makes it easy because of some of the people that are part of the programs. They're all in, they're committed. You coached soccer, and that was a commitment in itself. And so as long as that commitment is there, it makes it a whole lot easier for me. I'll try my best to organize and communicate as often as possible, but it takes the commitment from the parents and the coaches, to make it. A lot of people come up and be like, "Kerv, this is awesome. You did this." I'm like, I have really good commitment from parents, and coaches that truly is who's running our program. Those parents and those coaches that are part of our programs with keeping it intact. So and helping us grow and develop.
Right. Yeah. Well, I mean, I can't count on two hands how many times you asked me to volunteer and do something. But the thing is though is like, I think people follow you. People believe in you, whatever they believe in what your vision is for what the Y has the opportunity to do. And the Y, has an opportunity that a lot of churches don't have. People come to, and we, obviously people that maybe kind of knew this, we weren't always in this building. We used to meet up at the Y, right? So, Amanda says, "Hey guys, love this setup." She says, "Thanks, Amanda." So like we used to obviously meet at the YMCA, and so one of the perks of us being there was that people would come to church while we were there that wouldn't come here necessarily or come to a building because it was a Y. And so, you get to build these relationships with these people, man, and you've got to have that gift, that ability to do that, and you certainly have it. But so the Y, I mean, a lot of people know the YMCA they know most people I would assume knows what it's about. Obviously, a Christian-based organization. Talk a little bit about because part of this was just I wanted people to see you and meet you and know who you are, and I hope people in this community get to see this, and so they can hear your story and how you got here. But there's a lot going on at the YMCA right now, and this guy you're right. It is the volunteers, but you're the one that they're trusting to follow, and you're leading a lot of those things, and so. Just growing up around here, dude, there just hasn't been a lot of stuff happening like that for teenagers and for kids. Like, it's just reality. I mean, the Y has always been the only thing, really, that's around or whatever. So, talk about a little bit right now. What are some things, if someone says, you know what, I really believe in, I like this guy, I believe in what the YMCA is about, I want to partner and help. I mean, obviously, becoming a member of the Y is a great, it's a great idea.
Yeah.
But outside of that, like, are there any opportunities that would be there for people. I mean,
Yeah,
coaching,
absolutely.
volunteering,
There,
whatever.
there are good. We're non-profit, so we can't pay everybody.
Right.
We're volunteer based for the most part, and I believe wholeheartedly that the Y is one of the main, or should be one of the main service providers in town, in any town, because of what we stand for, and we're Christians, so we believe, more in morals and whatever Christian based organization wants to bring to a town is what we would align with. So I truly believe we can be one of the number one providers in town for healthy habits, for you know, maybe counseling, a place for people to work out. We do that already, and
There's a sense of community there.
yeah,
too.
for sure.
I mean,
Oh, absolutely.
whether you're upstairs working out or I think about with guys we play with at 12 o'clock basketball. Like, I would have never met those guys.
Man, something that I love and appreciate at this Y is the warmness of it. People are just so welcoming.
Yeah.
Like, they didn't know me from A to Z. And the day that they found out about me, they were like, "Oh my goodness, thank you for coming and being at the Y." Still this day, this morning, I met this guy. I've known his wife for a while, but I met him this morning, and he's like, "Man, we've heard, like, it's not me, it's God." But there's a lot that is going on at the Y, and partly because of our leadership. I'm always gonna brag on her. She leads us well, and so she gives us she trusts all of us directors, and she gives us the reins to, hey, whatever you see fit that can work here at the Y that'll serve the community, do it. We trust you. So that's from day one. That's been a thing. She was like, Kerv, we've had sports directors, but there are other things that they did well. There are other things that they didn't want to partake in. So if that's what you want to do, do it. She supports me.
Yeah.
Every now and then I go into an office when I have an idea and be like, "Hey, I have this idea." You either bring me down to earth and tell me, bluntly, like, it's not gonna work. And she's always there and supports. And so if there's anything a lot that's going on at the Y, is because she's giving me access or freedom
enabling
to
the leaders to do their thing. Yeah.
Exactly.
That's where it starts.
She does that. Yeah. She does that well. And so I guess right now some of the things going on at the Y that people can get involved in.
What are the needs? I guess
The
that may be a better
needs.
way of asking it.
I would say summer in any like youth organization is crazy.
Yeah.
We always need help. There's summer camps coming around, so we'll need counselors. Again, we're a nonprofit, so we're not like McDonald's paying $15 an hour.
Right.
But a lot of people that come work at the Y know that already, that we can't pay much.
Right.
But just the family feel at the Y in the ways that we truly care for people, it brings people back. So if you're looking for something to do this summer, college age or high school seniors that needs a job before going back to school, we have plenty.
Yeah.
Would love to have for summer camp counselors, lifeguards. That's a major need.
Yeah.
I can remember last summer, we had great lifeguards, but there are times we had to close the pool early, or we didn't open the pool at all because we didn't have guards.
Right.
And surely we want competent people that are going to be about the job, because being a lifeguard, it's a serious job.
Right.
You got people's lives in your hands.
Right.
So,
Right.
For sure.
so we definitely would love to have some guards. And Megan Smith, she's doing a really good job. She's taking on the role of aquatics director, along with 10 different other director positions that she's and she's doing well. So she's definitely in need of guards. The more the merrier. I would say we're comfortable with the guards but we can always use more.
Sure.
You know, people call out. Life stuff in people's lives happen, so people call out. So the more the merrier. If you are on Facebook, do follow our Facebook page, the Wise Facebook page, because we always post our needs and also what's going on at the Y.
I'll put a link in the
Facebook,
comments too of this video.
You know, if there's so much communication we could send out there, but we do put a whole lot of it on Facebook. So if there's anything needed.
I guess the only thing with, you know, looking for a summer gig is that you got to put up with these guys. These two here.
Yeah. I'm pretty crazy. My light went.
Your light got, bro. You disappeared.
Did I? Whoops! I didn't even smile a little bit.
You good,
more.
man? We can see you, bro. We can still see you. Hey, Brooke said. Brooke Coffin said. Corbin says, "Hey, Coach Kerv."
Hey, Corbin.
It's cool to see how the kids like when they see you interact with you.
That's my. Hey, Corbin, you need to come back to homeschool PE, bro. I need to see you tomorrow. It's been like 3-ish weeks. So come back. We miss you.
Backsliding. Get with the program. But yeah, I mean, I guess I was gonna say you have to deal with these two, both of these guys work at the Y, but
they got to deal with me.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
I guess it depends on how you look at it.
True.
Yeah. And also, always, I would assume coaches like volunteer.
Oh yeah, for sure, absolutely. One of the my favorite things about not my programs, the programs at the Y that we're having at the Y. People just, I guess, because of the trust, like you mentioned earlier, and they trust that, and we appreciate that these parents entrust their kids in our hands to develop them in sports or whatever. Parents just show up and like, hey, you need help? I can't tell you how many. It's definitely a God thing. That's one of the things that makes it easy for me, because I would create the programs and expect a good bit of kids, and in the back of my mind, being a carnal person, not fully relying on God,
right.
knowing that He'll, He always provides, but at times I'm like, man, that's a lot. I'm gonna need a lot of coaches. I'm gonna need a lot of help with this. Early on, I'm very controlling. Sorry, pray for me. Early on, when I first started at the Y, I didn't know many people, so I was really scared to approach people and be like, hey, if you want to coach. So I coached 4 teams in different age groups. I remember coaching 2 teams in the same age group because I didn't want to ask for help. I was scared. I'm just really prideful, I guess. Pray for me. I'm sinful.
Aren't we all?
But it was funny when those 2 teams had to play each other. You'd be like, you remember what you did at practice? You remember what you did at practice? And then I'm reffing the game.
And you're reffing too.
Yeah. So that was
seems like
crazy.
a game.
I'm pretty sure some of these
You
parents were like, does this guy even know what he's doing? But we survived, and they came back, so appreciate them. But yeah, definitely coaches. I'm at the point now we're blessed to have, for the most part, 2 coaches per teams for soccer.
That's awesome.
And I guess just knowing that God will always provide. From now on, I think I'm gonna shoot for the sky.
Yeah.
Because my expectations before I start planning for a season, is somewhat low.
Yeah.
I would, for instance, this past basketball, we had basketball for the first time at the Y.
Yeah.
For youth, and my expectation was 50, 60 kids. We'll introduce
How many
the
you have?
sport. I want to say we had one something, 106 maybe.
Oh my
gosh. Yeah.
I remember walking in to watch Corbin play.
Yeah.
And my nephew.
And the community
packed.
was all about it. It was golden. It was so great, and partly because we had really good coaches. Some of the parents knew what coaches were gonna come in. So they signed up their kids. And I'm not like a crazy basketball person, so I relied a lot on my coaches to help me implement things. I knew the rules. I knew the gist of it, but there's little small things that didn't I didn't think of, and the coaches were right on the spot and was like, and they ran with it. My coaches just owned their responsibility, and they showed up. So we had a really good season, and same with soccer this spring. We've been able to make about 22 teams.
Wow.
21, we have a group of little itty bitties, we call them, 3-year-olds that we introduce them to soccer. And with this guy and me rolling on the ground with them going crazy, so that's fun. Can't wait to start. We start in a couple of weeks, but we have kids from 3 to 13
Wow.
that we're serving, and I want to say we have about 3. Not 3. Oof, 2. I had to look at the numbers again. 220-ish this season that we're serving.
Sign up for soccer?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah. It's a big one, and at first I was like, oh my gosh, that's a lot of kids. How are we gonna, you've seen our fields.
Yeah.
But coaches, parents have stepped up. I remember
It's a community thing, right?
Yeah,
It all
absolutely.
works together.
I remember the first day of practice, I was short three coaches, and being the guy that you want to be organized. So I texted those 3 teams. I was like, I'm gonna have a general practice, and then within 10 minutes, I had 3 coaches that like, hey, I'll coach. I don't know much about soccer.
Yeah.
I was like,
yeah.
I'll coach you to coach.
Yeah.
And especially for that age group,
Right.
there's not much of an expectation.
Yeah.
So they're sweet parents that I wasn't gonna say no.
Yeah.
Their kids are playing on the team too, but they stepped up, and that's my favorite thing about here. Like, people will step up.
Yeah. And you end up getting blessed doing it. Like, I've only
for sure.
in the season, but like getting to know the kids that were on the team, like to this day. And I only did it again. This is like once.
Yeah.
And what does it last? Like
last spring?
a few months. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the season's not long.
Yeah.
And you only have a certain amount of games, practices, whatever. But to this, I mean, this is a year ago now. Yeah. And when I see the kids on that team, like, they still know me. And
coach.
Yeah, and I'm like saying hey to them, like, or whatever.
Yeah.
The parents, and I still say hey to them. It's building relationships in a small community like that, a small community like this. It's huge, man. And that's one of the things I love about Hartwell is that there is this community aspect where everybody's kind of in it together and trying to accomplish it. But I know there's a lot of other things. There's you got the soccer. I know there's basketball. That's for men and that's for kids all the way to high school league and then men's league, and that's not even thinking. That's not to mention gymnastics, girls.
Gymnastics is not under me. That's again Megan Smith. She's got like 213 different departments at the Y that she's.
Yeah. Well, gymnastics is a great one too. My little girl Mackenzie was in that and loved it. Yeah. I just bring it up because there's so many opportunities. If you're watching this, and we'll wrap it up, but if you're watching this and you're a young family, you've got to get plugged in to the Y. It's a great place to. It's not even just about getting your kids in sports, which is obviously a perk, but it's the community that's there, getting to know the leadership, getting to know some of the staff, getting to know some of the coaches, and the way it's set up and led is just Christ-like. It's awesome. It's well put together. It's affordable. I know there's tons of scholarships and stuff that's available. Yeah. We're my family, just us personally, are super involved with the sports, and we got to figure out what the boys are going to do because they didn't want to do soccer anymore. So, but my girl wants to play basketball now. So, we got.
So I have a coach right here. Here's a coach.
I'm there. And I told you, bro. If she plays, I'll coach.
I have 3 coaches. He's already coached.
We got to get Austin in on it.
Oh yeah.
And so Austin is. Both of these guys work there. Austin plays in the men's league, and somehow. And Luke is in. He's in a high school league.
That had
which is
a
crazy.
lot of praying.
Listen,
a lot of praying.
I'm not here to judge. I'm just telling you.
We're organized.
What do I got to do?
Very organized.
Because if I'm in the high school league, I'm dropping 50.
What's wild is I still so far I'm only averaging like 4.
He had to get recruited. And got traded.
I've heard.
Yeah.
And he was on,
Getting traded.
I heard his contract got bought out. They didn't want him no more, so they just said we'll pay off the contract. And
it's up and coming.
And now he's on the minimum. He said he's actually only on 10 days. So he don't even know
he's on a 10-day contract.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's tough.
No, we're having a really fun time at the Y. The people are involved. The people are receptive to to it. Once we thought about doing men's league, it was like, oh yeah,
Yeah, people are super open
Yeah,
to it, excited about it.
It's just
There's a
matter
lot
of-
of excitement about all the things. Anything you come up with, most people, I would assume, I'm sure there's some that's not as exciting, but
Yeah, well,
for the most part.
we have some more plans this summer. Like for instance, next month we're very very excited. I guess this is a plug.
Yeah, plug away, plug away.
All YMCA's do this thing once a year. It's called Healthy Kids Day. It's where you promote healthy habits, healthy lifestyles, and so our Healthy Kids Day here at the Y, we did one last summer or last spring. It was pretty fun. We were still learning in how to implement it, so it didn't go as we wanted. But this season, this spring, we're very excited to bring it back. We're gonna do ages from 3 to 10. We may do 12. We can do 12. We're going to do a triathlon.
Cool.
For on the field for those ages. Some parents are like, well, my kid doesn't know how to swim. We're not going in the pool.
Okay.
So it'll be really fun. Sign up for it. Super excited for it. Where the kids will run a certain amount of feet, and then they will bike. So bring your own bike, scooters, and what do kids ride?
Hoverboard? I feel like that's cheating. I feel like that's
It's like
cheating.
that's no work.
I didn't think of a hoverboard. Let me think about that more. We'll let you know.
It's an injury. There's a lot of injuries going
Yeah,
on.
in a helmets and pads. So
Yeah.
bring them all.
Yeah.
They'll track around on their bikes, and then we'll have a little water slide to finish the
That's
race.
cool. Yeah.
So we're super excited about it. It'll be fun. So sign up. It's free to the community. It's not like anything you have to pay for, unless if you want to buy a T-shirt. Just be like, we just got involved in the best thing at the Y. So, but yeah, it's once you get to it'll be available online to register for free. And
We'll put a link for that too. Yeah, for sure.
So be on the lookout for that. It'll be fun. It's a day to just promote healthy habits. We'll have a ton of different
Give a day
vendors.
for that.
April 29th.
29th.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's a Saturday. We'll have vendors in the community giving out free stuff, giving out free consultation. Doctors, whatever. We're inviting everybody that wants to join. The churches would love to partner with
Yeah, man.
Impact.
We'll see what we can do.
So we'd love to to just bring the community together and just teach them about healthy habits.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And have a good time. Really, meet new people, all that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure. We'll put it in the comments, and you guys definitely sign up for that. Before we end, I did want to ask Austin and Luke, because they just kind of been sitting here not doing anything.
I'm just chilling, bro.
I see that. You gotta watch Austin. He will come and sit with you to go do something, and if you don't, it's weird because if you don't make him talk.
Hey man, can you pick up that paper? It fell on the ground.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even see it.
For y'all, okay, so from your perspective, you're new, so to the area, right? About to graduate Emmanuel. You guys can go back and listen to his story, but and quickly because I do want to wrap it up. But what has your experience been at the Y? This guy came to the Y. They love him there. I'll just put it that way.
Yeah.
This guy's been coming. He just now is like.
It's probably the hair.
I don't know if it's the smile, but
he's got the hair.
But Miss Martha loves this guy.
Oh,
at the
yeah.
front
She was
desk.
just letting me
I
in.
mean, it's
I didn't
like,
have a membership or nothing.
this
She
guy
let
just
me
walked in, and I'm like, dude. Now he's working at the Y, so it makes sense that he's there. But what was your first impression like at the Y? Did you sense that community when you first started coming?
Oh yeah, I just especially from I've seen it from the perspective of the basketball on. We at least go every Monday.
Yeah.
But it's usually at least one more day throughout the week. But this kind of we're all just there to have a good time. And it's kind of usually you can just sense that. I mean, of course we want to win because nobody wants to lose.
Right.
But it's just kind of we're more just there to have fun and kind of really just take a break from life almost.
Yeah.
And especially I've seen that as I've started working with the kids. I freaking love it. I was literally thinking about that, how thankful I am that the Lord brought me here. As I was talking about that last night with the devotion I gave, Luke was there for last night with the kids, about kind of how blessed I am to be here, and how I think this season is not up yet.
Yeah.
How much I'm kind of going, I'm looking forward to staying.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I'm glad you're here. Glad you're sticking around, and I'm glad you got plugged into the Y. It's something. It's almost like it feels like this probably isn't true for everybody that maybe that doesn't go there, but for me, in a way, it feels like a central hub for a lot of people, like no matter where you are in life, you end up. I mean, because people we play basketball with there during the week, it's like totally different life seasons. You know what I'm saying? But it's like it is a community. I mean, it's been going on. That's just one small thing, but like that has been a community for gosh, probably 2 or 3 years now. Like this group of guys that I've known forever now because we just play at 12. Yeah, that's what we do. And I mean, it was one point we were playing like every day, but now it's 2 or 3 days a week, I guess. But yeah, so cool. Luke, what about for you, man? I know for the wife was like when it's technically your second job, right?
Yeah, kinda.
I guess. Yeah, way better than your first job.
First off, suck.
Yeah, first job was at the Granite Shed, my parents' Granite Shed, and it was like, but it was good because it was like his first.
It's like yin and yang. We got like good and then the complete opposite.
Yeah, it was like a good. This is
changed me and shaped me in different ways.
Yeah, let's just leave it at that. Leave it at that. What was your first? I know you grew up at the Y, though, so you've got the perspective of as a kid, kind of growing up at the Y and working there now with kids.
Not to be dramatic, but I think the Y has changed my life in a lot of ways. Not only like just the people that I've met some of the best people, most charismatic and caring people I think I can imagine. And I think those connections will last, and I'll meet people that'll hopefully, as I grow, will stay around. I hope, like Kerv, man. I mean, seeing Kerv makes my day, and I think that happens with a lot.
For sure, yeah.
Like seeing Miss Loretta. I mean, it's and even with the kids. I mean, these kids, just seeing them out in different places, different community, and them saying, "Hey, Mr. Luke," is something something you can't get anywhere else.
Yeah.
And if anything, I think it could, it's led me to find a calling. I think, in the most part, to work with kids and be in that life. I think it shaped a lot of my future, and it's definitely a God thing. People are so welcoming, and even coming into it, I'm a very fearful person. If you know me, I'm skeptical at first and I'm hesitant, but people, they're so welcoming, and just transitioning into it, they all made it so easy. So it's just been such a blessing.
Yeah. So you get the sense, especially with the like, I mean, with all the staff, there's just a sense of like family.
100%.
And that's crazy because I feel a part of it. And I think people that come there and they're just members or whatever, like they all feel a part of it too. It's almost like, it's almost like a weekly ritual now to come in and see. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
almost daily for me, but like coming in and just seeing everybody, and because it's the same people at the front desk, and
you catch up from last conversation.
Yeah, you just kind of, I mean, when I came in, like, what was it, earlier this week, we were talking about how, like, because we're about to move to Hartwell, like, and just, you're like, about my life, even though but the Y is our connection point. And so, and there's a lot of guys that I have that with, it's because of the Y. So that's good, Luke. Thank you for sharing that, man. I don't think it's dramatic at all. I think if you're in the right environment and where God calls you to be, that's what should happen. It's a great environment, so I'm not surprised that happens. But all right, well, we've been going for a while. And man, we've had people sticking with us and watching. Owen said, "Hey, Dad." Hey, Owen. You're probably not.
No.
That was like 20 minutes ago.
Hey. I can't believe that man's 7.
Yeah, I had Owen's birthday yesterday.
What a man.
Kind of a big deal.
What a man.
We're hitting up the Chuck E. Cheese this Saturday. Yeah,
I mean, also,
yeah. You guys
I'm
are all
not gonna
invited.
be here.
Big Chuck E. Cheese guy.
Not invited anyway.
Thanks. I didn't be like that.
I take it away. I take it back.
Good. You should.
Cool. Well, hey, thanks for watching and listening. However, you're partaking in this this wisdom from the man, from Kerv. I gotta tell you, for the longest time, I spelled your name like a Kerv.
He still does.
At this point, I'm just doing it.
What's my name look like on your phone?
I actually just text Luke and just put the GIF on the car coming around a curve.
Thanks.
So, just so you know, it is not that. It is Kerv.
Yes.
But it's Kervin, though, actually.
Yeah, it's short for Kervins.
Kervin.
Yeah.
Kervins?
Kervins, yeah. Kervens.
See, I would have got it wrong if I just did Kerv.
You prefer Kerv, though. Right?
Yeah, I'm cool. I'm cool with Kerv.
Like, has everybody been calling you the wrong name?
Yes.
Yeah.
Kurt.
Kurt? I was like, wait, his name is Kerv? Like a Kerv?
I
Like,
think it's
Yeah,
one of the
that's how I
overrated.
tell
it
people.
is one of the cooler names.
That's
It's-
what I
those
tell
four.
people. It's like a
I
curve
love-
on the road. It's just spelled differently.
Out of those four, he has the best name.
Oh
That's-
man.
That's no
Yeah.
bullshit. If we
Sure.
could curve and
Sure.
put the Hoopin' Gardener behind it.
Curve
What?
and Gardner?
Curve and
That's
Hoopin'
lit.
Gardener. That's crazy.
I don't know how Rachel would feel about
Sounds-
being Mrs. Hoop.
Drop a comment below who has the coolest name in this
He takes it. Come on.
the last name.
Hoop
But you got the coolest.
curve.
He's a hooper, dude. Hooper. Yeah, hooper.
Hey.
You know you're a hooper if you got hooping
Yeah,
in your name.
really, really.
I mean, it's just
really.
true. All right.
Brown's a terrible last name.
Yeah, I mean, we have nothing going for us.
Brown.
I hate my middle name. I hate my first
Look,
name.
think about
I hate my last.
brown. Just kind of. I
Come
mean,
on,
it's,
man.
I mean, it's okay
It's
because
a solid color.
It's
I mean,
okay.
it's not-
Is it really? Is it really?
Yeah, it's
Every color combined
Dirt.
together makes brown.
exactly.
It's just it's so bad. It's everything.
Exactly.
Or it's so
man.
good, it's everything.
Brown's top 10.
Oh, okay.
Where is Mackenzie? Mackenzie's playing. She's in there. She's fine.
We don't know.
I can't believe we hadn't heard from her.
No,
We
actually,
probably
you
need
did-
to
you
check
just
her
heard
out.
from my
Probably
one
grab
point.
somebody's car.
Yeah,
key.
I
Heard
looked in
from
there
my
because I heard like a couple of loud
I call
noises
bang
and
bangs.
Ah, she's fine, guys. Anyway.
Amanda's probably going crazy.
Mackenzie,
Like, just to make sure.
She's watching her tablet, dude. She doesn't know where we exist right now.
Oh man.
Oh, I hear her coming.
Kenzie!
Mackenzie, come here really quick. Hurry, run. All right. Well, people that are listening are like, can you guys wrap it up, please? All right. Well, thank you for being here, Kerv. Appreciate you, bro.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, man.
Stop by the Y. There's a lot of stuff going on. Swim lessons, all of the above. Summer.
Cold being up
Come at
there.
12
12
Summer
o'clock for
camp.
basketball.
So
Yeah,
cold.
come dance with Rex on every morning during the summer. Yeah, and you too. You just don't know it yet, but.
You're gonna be. Yeah,
Yeah.
12 o'clock
Yeah.
basketball sometimes.
Yes, why not? Yeah, show
Sure.
up. Come take a lunch break.
Lunch
break with the kids.
Yeah.
Come play
Yeah,
ball.
yeah. All right. Well, thank you for watching and
Yes.
listening, and we'll see y'all. Well, I don't know if we're gonna be back. I realize the schedule's a little inconsistent. That's my fault, 100%. It's actually not just my fault.
Yeah.
It's like 5% Luke's fault, 95% my fault. You were sick last week, and then I could have still done it, but it's not fun without you. Also, I don't know what I'm doing, so that's the other thing.
That's fair.
But I'm moving next week, so I don't know if I'll be here. But just keep up with our Facebook page. We'll put all the YMCA stuff.
Me and Austin will just do it.
You guys,
Me and
that
him
would be
set
a
up
good
the
time.
That would be.
I don't
That
know.
would be a good
We
time.
would not know what to talk about. I would go
Just
off
cut it
the
on
rails.
and don't
We
plan
never-
anything.
you never
plan anything.
with us.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
never
go off.
just talk.
Yeah,
Just
that
make
may
sure
be
you
bad.
Remember
pray
what we were talking
beforehand,
about last
so-
week?
Yeah.
The Spirit
We
guides
can put that
you.
in though. We can.
We'd have to tread our own different spot.
Yeah, let's do that. on
Separate.
not
we don't
church
want to
podcast.
attach
No,
to church.
not church
Remember
related.
y'all
Yeah,
got
you're
fire?
right. You're
It's
right.
nothing anything bad. It's just yeah, we can't.
Just
do it via
embarrassing
church.
more than anything else.
No, it's just funny.
All right.
Yeah, it's just yeah.
I gotta lean awkwardly up and press this button. Thank y'all for watching. Any last words? Final words?
Come meet this guy.
Adios.
Come see Kerv.
senor.
Come see
Kerv.
Come
Senoritas.
say the Y.